Click the bell icon to get latest videos from Ekeeda.
Hello friends, we'll be learning about what is the comparison that we'll have when it comes to any traditional approach and the modern approach. So we'll have discussion on how a traditional approach differs when it comes to any kind of modern approach. Let's go ahead and find out these details. So, when we spoke about double entry bookkeeping system, we always were keen on knowing that it has a dual aspect. So when we talk about having a dual aspect, that means each transaction will be dealing with two or more accounts. However, when it comes to any conventional approach, it had incomplete information. So we'll differentiate how conventional approach is not that great as compared to double entry bookkeeping system, or how double entry bookkeeping system is more advanced or more modern as compared to the conventional or traditional approach. We'll have certain points mentioned here. We'll further go ahead and describe each point in details. Let's go ahead with the first one. Now, when we talk about recording transactions, conventional approach has incomplete business transactions as these transactions are recorded only in one book, that is cash book. However, when we talk about double entry bookkeeping system, it has transactions recorded in a scientific and business way. That means all these transactions will be recorded in two or more subsidiary or journal books. So when we talk about recording transaction is an important core aspect when it comes to accounting transactions. So when we talk about accounting transactions, these should be recorded in details. This thing is not available in conventional or traditional approach. However, this thing is always available in double entry bookkeeping system because it considers mentioning debit transaction and the credit transaction for every aspect. So when you talk about any transaction, this transaction will have a debit item as well as a credit item if it is recorded under double entry bookkeeping system. However, if it is recorded under the conventional system, it will have just one approach, either the debit item or the credit item. So this is the first difference. Let's go ahead and find out what is the second difference that we have. One of these approach or one of these transactions, one of these systems have less coverage. That's correct. The conventional one has less coverage of details. As you know that this specific approach is using just one aspect, either the debit aspect or the credit aspect to record transactions. Hence, it has incomplete records. So the coverage of all these transactions is very less as compared to double entry bookkeeping system. However, when we talk about double entry bookkeeping system, we have dual aspects. Both debit and credit aspects are considered for each and every transaction. That means every debit will have equal and opposite credit as well. So it has complete coverage of all these transactions. None of these aspects are missed out, and hence it gives out more details which can be used for further comparison between two financial years or between a previous year and the current financial year. This will give you a real-time basis judgment which can be taken if in case there has to be any kind of improvement that has to be made. So when we talk about complete coverage, that can be only accessed or obtained when it comes to double entry bookkeeping system. Let's go ahead further and understand what are the differences that we have, or what are the additional differences that we have when it comes to conventional and double entry bookkeeping system. Accuracy. Now, this is one of the most important aspects when it comes to accountancy. Accountancy cannot be inaccurate. The data, the numbers have to be completely accurate. The data and the numbers should be matched to the relevant accounts. It cannot be the case where any transaction has been mismatched or any account has been debited twice, credited twice, or a wrong account or a wrong posting has been done. When it comes to conventional approach, accuracy is less guaranteed. It cannot be guaranteed there. That means the accuracy will be there. However, you cannot assure that all these transactions, all these records are completely accurate. However, when it comes to double entry bookkeeping system, you have assurance that the accuracy is completely foolproof. That means all these transactions which have dual aspects will be recorded in a specific manner, and hence these transactions are error-free or flawless. Hence, we know that there is accuracy in all these transactions, and all these transactions will be absolutely maintained as per the requirements of the accounting standards. Hence, when we talk about accuracy, double entry system gives you a foolproof system, or it is a foolproof system which will give you accuracy as per your need. However, the conventional system cannot guarantee accuracy when it comes to recording transactions. Let's go ahead further and understand what are the differences that makes double entry system an advanced and a modern system as compared to the conventional approach. Conventional system uses traditional method. However, when it comes to double entry bookkeeping system, it uses modern method. So when we talk about conventional system, all traditional approaches, that means all single entry bookkeeping system are used. However, when we talk about modern approach, which is much more complicated, much more complex, because the accountancy system has got much more advanced. Hence, to ensure that these complexities and these complex numbers are simplified further, we use a modern approach, which is a double entry bookkeeping system. Imagine you as a company are dealing with thousands of transactions every day. Do you think you can manually record all these transactions under cash book system and only maintaining cash book, and then in any near future case, if you want to rectify or if you want to tally these transactions with the number of debits and credits that has been done, is it possible for you to make these transactions or tally these transactions at one go? I don't think so. Hence, we have double entry system. In case all these 1,000 transactions has dual effect, that means debit and credit, you can easily match the transactions with the debit and credit items, because once you have a double entry bookkeeping system, your debit balance will be equivalent to the credit balance as per the ledgers, and the same will be reflected in trial balance. So when you have trial balance which is tallied, further used for preparation of profit and loss account and balance sheet, you know that all these transactions are recorded in a specific way, in a perfect manner, and hence this modern approach can help you simplify all the complex number, all the complexities when it comes to recording accounting transactions, because now that the nature has changed, everything has been modernized, and you deal with a number of transactions in one specific day. So to ensure that there is no flaws when it comes to recording transactions, this modern approach is used under double entry bookkeeping system as compared to the conventional or the technological or the traditional approach that is used earlier in the conventional approach here. So when we talk about conventional approach and the double entry bookkeeping system, we prefer using modern usage. Let's go ahead and find out what is few more details, or what are the few more details when we can talk about comparison. So double entry bookkeeping systems ensures that all these transactions are recorded in different subsidiary books or different journals, because it has dual aspect. However, the conventional approach has only one aspect, that means recording transactions in cash book. Single entry bookkeeping system. The cash book that you have, you record your transactions only in that thing. Whatever cash goes out, whatever cash comes in has been recorded in that. However, what about the transactions which are on credit? What about the expenses which hasn't been debited to you or which is not reflecting in your cash book? What about the incomes that has been already credited into your account? What about the third party payments that have been already made into your account? All these transactions are absolutely recorded in the passbook. Now, if you don't have the rectification or if you don't have a reconciliation of all these things, you won't be able to tally, and your balance as per your cash book won't match any of the transactions or any of the balances in any other books. Hence, to ensure that dual aspect is utilized over different books, we record these transactions into different subsidiary books and different journals. That helps us to mention or to produce every transaction under one single account. So if you have purchase transactions, you have a purchase account, and you have similarly different vendor account from whom or to whom these purchase transactions were made from or made to. If you have sales transactions, you have sales and to whom these sales of goods were happened or to whom these sale transactions were given to has been recorded. So when you talk about recording transactions in dual aspects, all these things are very important. If it is detailed, it will give you a clear picture. If it is not detailed, you'll have to dig in deep, and that is a lot of time consuming process. So to avoid these things and to avoid any kind of unnecessary activity, we go ahead and prepare double entry bookkeeping system journal records, so that is easy for us in near future to compare or to rectify or to reconcile any detail that we want at any given point of time. Plus, this ain't a time consuming process. Hence, all these details being mentioned are freely available at that point of time. You don't have to dig in deep. You just have to go ahead, look at the records, and you will be able to rectify or reconcile any transaction that you want to. Hence, these are the differences that makes double entry system a much more advanced version and a much more preferred version when it comes to recording transactions. So when we talk about accounting entries, accounting journals, ledger, balances, trial balance, anything, it should be always recorded under double entry bookkeeping system. So this is what all about. When we talk about conventional approach, this specific approach is not much advanced as compared to the one that is under double entry bookkeeping system. It is not that helpful when it comes to recording transactions. So to have a specific approach towards any kind of transaction and to ensure that the near future when it comes to recording transactions or while comparing transactions with previous financial years is easy, we need to follow double entry bookkeeping system. So that's it for the day. Thank you for watching this video. Stay tuned with Ekeeda and keep subscribing to Ekeeda.